We are here again. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our weekly live training where we talk about how to train smart, use your time wisely, qualify for top races, and win
while maintaining life balance.
My name is Coach Shangrila. I'm a two-time triathlete Guinness World Record holder, motivational speaker, best-selling author, and high-performance triathlon and endurance coach. And this is my sidekick, Vineta. All right. Well, today we're going to talk about something I do think is going to level up your motivation. You're going to show up to your working out, asking yourself, like, I should try that. I think I can do that too. All right. So let me show you of what we're going to be talking about. Okay. And this one is for all levels in triathlon, or if you're running only or cycling only, or you've been wanting to do triathlon, you're going to get a lot today. All right. So from sprint to your first half Ironman without burnout or injury, race like a rock star, break free from nervous wreck mode while being a superstar mom. And of course, if you're a dad, while being a superstar dad. All right. So let's see what we're going to talk about today and get more details. All right. Well, master your training and mom duties, finishing your first 70.3 without burning out or getting injured.
Balancing your family life, how to structure your training time so you can still attend all your kids' sporting events.
Anyone parents here, super mom and super dad, here, you're going to get a lot more today. How do we do things? And then add swim, bike, and run.
Yes.
Especially, or if you're new to triathlon, like trying to juggle like in circus, like all the balls. All right. So crush pre-race nerves, overcoming anxiety, overthinking and stepping into confidence. Okay, so this one applies to all. Like pre-race nerves is always there.
Yeah,
I mean, I still have it. Now you're gonna get a lot more insights of like, how do you deal with this one? Okay.
Yes, dancing through race challenges, glide through choppy swims, bouncing back from bike spills, powering through the winds and thunderstorms.
Okay.
On the run.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So like there's this recent race that we're going to talk about today. There's thunderstorms happening. There's another race that they canceled the running portion because of the weather.
Yeah.
So, or if something happens to your race, how are you going to deal with it? Especially if it's your first. And now you could be overthinking. All right. Like, what if this happened? What if this happens? Like, whew. All right, next, rise stronger, bounce back from medical emergencies and reclaim your health. All right. Effortless transformation. This one is a bonus. All right. Shed 15 pounds with ease and embrace your ideal racing weight without even trying. It's like, that's why I said it's a bonus, because like we're focusing on like getting you to the first half Ironman without burnout or injury and then losing weight. We didn't even plan for it. It's a bonus. How cool is that? All right. Last but not the least, unleash your limitless potential. Discover the secrets to fast recovery. Who wants to be able to do what you love to do, being physically active without getting hurt? Even though, like, despite that you're doing back-to-back races, like, what if your body can recover much faster, sooner than you have ever been doing? Today, we're going to touch base also recovery.
Okay? Yes, exciting topics today.
So with that said, okay, so let me welcome people, everyone. We do this weekly live training. So this is for you, Ironman and Beyond members. And if you do have any questions or you want to participate or just comment there, please do not hesitate. This is your training. We would love to have some engagement here. Go ahead, invite your friends by tagging them. And then, by the way, click that heart or like button to make sure that you guys are hearing us. Hello. Can you guys hear us? Hello. All right. So just click the heart or like button. Okay. So we know that you guys are hearing us.
And then for those who are joining us live, put hashtag live so we can see who is here right now. And then if you're watching the replay, then put hashtag replay.
All right. So Vineta's going to pull out the live streams. And then she will read the questions, okay? And then later on, we're gonna go back to this one and then see if we miss anything, like any questions or anything that you guys got going on, so we can get to know you also. As you guys see, we engage to almost everyone who's actually communicating with us in the group, okay? All right, so
let me welcome a couple of people that I see joining us right now. Hi, Ben. Good to have you.
hello,
welcome,
Ben.
Welcome, Emily.
Yeah.
Mary's here. Sarah, Kim,
Wow.
Lisa, Gwen.
People. Awesome.
Good to have you guys.
Welcome, everyone. All right, so without waiting further, let's welcome Sarrah from New York State. How are you doing, Sarrah?
I'm doing great. How are you girls? Thank you so much for having me today.
Welcome. I know your family and friends are also in Ironman and beyond right now watching. So hello, fans, family and friends of Sarrah. Here you go. This is Sarrah. She's going to be inspiring you all and giving you insights of how did she transform in a short amount of time and become this superstar mom. It's amazing what you just did, Sarrah. So let me show you guys so you guys understand why I think what she had just done, okay, is amazing. Okay, so she we'll talk more about her history, but basically it was only recently that she raced her first 70.3 muscle man.
First 70.3, very exciting.
Yes, and guess what, she actually did very well. She felt amazing. Okay, and then so this one was last Sunday. Guess what, just Saturday, within just 7 days, she raced again. Like after her first 70.3, she raced again.
What did she do?
She did not just one, she did 2 races in one day. So Saturday. So just imagine muscle month and Sunday. Okay. Went back to work like nothing happened. Like, oh, okay, it's only for 70.3, right? And then, so work week. And then Saturday, okay, she did 2 races. So let me show it to you guys. Here you go. Okay. And she did not just survive it. She actually thrived. First place age group. Amazing time. Yes. This one is like, 6 days after.
I see that she PR'd on her swim and her bike.
Impressive. And her run. And this one it's insane. 6 days after.
Yeah.
For 70.3.
And first place in age group.
Yeah. Very and guess what? Because it was back to back. It was funny. And Sarrah can tell you, I'll ask Sarrah, but so like on this one, after that, first place age group on sprint. And guess what? After that, she raced also an Olympic try immediately right after. Again, she did well.
Wow. I can't imagine that transition from the run.
Yes,
going back into
we were laughing about it, Sarrah. So Sarrah mentioned that they were calling her out to go to the stage because she podiumed as first in her age group, and they were looking for you. And where were you?
I think I was on my second lap of the swim, and so I couldn't even go and accept the award because obviously I was in the swim.
You're in the water on your second race.
Yep.
That's fun.
It's like amazing.
All right, so I think that's amazing. How are you feeling today? Like that, so that race, the back-to-back was just last Saturday. Today is Wednesday. How are you feeling today?
4 days later.
I feel great. I'm still on a high. I'm like ready to do something more. And, I have other goals, but I want to race again. Like I want to do a race this weekend. I was looking to see if I could find something, and I'm on recovery week, but no, I feel great. I just want to do more, and I feel the best I've ever felt.
So let me ask you, so before this first 70.3, okay, you did not do any Olympic distance besides just in training, right? But before only sprint triathlon, and that was last year. Is that right?
Yeah, I did this, the Delta Lake, that was the only sprint. I had done another, I was supposed to do another sprint, but it ended up being a duathlon. The swim got canceled.
And so then, and then you started running. And what year was that? Was that 2021, 20?
I've been running for several years. I know I did my first marathon. I wanted to do my first marathon by the time I turned 40. So I was 39 when I did ago. I'm 41 now. So just a couple of years ago, I did that, but I've done several half marathons and, just running for, I think just mental, like, I'm a very active person and I like to keep busy, obviously with my kids and everything, but just also like, I teach Zumba. I like to run. I like to do anything, honestly. And I've really started to enjoy swimming and biking, which is something kind of new for me. So I like to.
Well, I'm glad that you brought up the swimming and biking. So, Vinette,
well, I wanted to go back. So, take people back, because maybe you cannot relate right away that, your first 71.3, maybe it's a little bit too big. So let's go back to January when we first talked. That's when we met. Walk us through what was going on with your training when we first talked.
Yeah, so I had started my training and I was doing my own thing, and like I said, I'm an active person. So I'm used to doing stuff at least, I don't know, several days a week. I mean, when I don't do something, I don't know, I feel like I need to do something. So, but I felt like I was really nervous about the swim. I know that's my weakest leg out of everything. And I had already signed up, and I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I just want to be safe. I want to finish, but I want to have, I want to have some technique and, learn more about swimming. Cause, I've swam as a kid, as a child and everything. And, but I've never known like the correct technique, form and everything. And I really wanted to be safe. And all I could keep saying to myself is I don't want to drown in Seneca Lake. I wanted to get a coach to, help me, so my confidence would be up. And, it was on my bucket list to do a 70.3. And, so I just wanted to make sure I was safe and,
okay.
And,
you mentioned a bucket list of 70.3. How long has it been a bucket list for you? Or,
just probably in the last 2 years. I knew I wanted to do a sprint. I knew I wanted to, especially when I did my sprint last year, that really inspired me to, want to do more. I accomplished that, and, and I set high goals for myself, and I just want to do more. Like, even if I set this goal, I want to be like 10 steps higher than that. So.
Well, I want to hear from our athletes who is viewing this one. Anyone here who has a bucket list of something, it could be a sprint, or Olympic. What's in your bucket list? Is 70.3 your bucket list as well? Put that down, because I want to see what's your goal, or like, how long have you been thinking about that? And when do you plan to check off that bucket list? If
you set your mind to anything, you can do anything. I mean, because I know I have lots of friends that are way better swimmers than I am. And, I never thought that I would be at a 142 per 100 yards or 145 per 100 yards. I'm just like totally like, I'm so proud of myself, but just so happy. Without your guys, I would be there. So.
Yeah. Well, when that was back in January, when you fill out the form and then we were talking to you, you had 2 goals that you shared to us. One goal is to complete your first 70.3 Muscleman. And the second goal, you said, to improve your technique and swim under 2 minutes per 100 yards.
Mm-hmm. And I did it.
Yeah, you did it. Everyone, I'm going to show to you in a bit later of how she was swimming back then. So you guys can improve with your swimming and then know some more insights of what steps you need to do. Because for her, she was not under 2 minutes per 100 yards. Mm-hmm. So let me ask you, you mentioned about cycling as well. So like, how was your cycling before?
I had like a 20-year-old hybrid bike that I've had for 20 years. And, I would just be riding around, the neighborhood. I would do like 12 to 16 miles, but really nothing more than that. And it wasn't that often, but I really enjoyed it. I did that sprint last year and I was training for that. And I really didn't have to do a ton for this, I didn't feel like for the sprint, but I don't know. I really enjoy it. And I wanted to do more. And, and I said, after I did that sprint and the duathlon, I didn't want to invest in a bike until I knew that I was going to really be into it and everything. I didn't know exactly what I wanted. And then, in the fall, last fall, October, I went and purchased a new bike because I knew I wanted, that was like the next step.
Wow.
And so that was kind of where I started. And,
Wow. October, your first bike, the road bike, is that road bike? Road bike. So was that also your first time to clip? No, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, yeah. It was the first time to clip as well. October last year?
October. Yeah. Honestly, when I did my sprint last year, I remember being on the course going uphill, everything. And these bikers were passing me, and they were like, hardcore, because I was on a hybrid bike, and they're like, oh my God. I mean, I was averaging, decent speed at that time, but remember, I'm like, I need something more. And then I remember my father actually, and my stepmother, last year I did another race, like in the fall. It was like a kayak portion and versus I remember him following me up a steep hill. It was like a mile and a half. And he's like, you need to get a new bike. That I had to get off the bike to go up the hill. I mean, I had my hybrid at the time, and then I knew I need to get something. I deserve something.
That's amazing. Because so you haven't really been like seriously, like training, the real training in terms of cycling. And because you just got your bike and also just learned how to clip October, and we started training January. So, and then now you have you're going for a 56 mile and then run a half marathon. Oh, and then how did the distance, the 70.3 feel like, at the back that January?
Back then, I was thinking at that time, I'm like, what am I doing? I was so nervous. And I said, what did I sign? Can I defer? I'm like, there's no way that I get to this. Like, I was thinking that. And I didn't have the confidence, but I knew, obviously you show up, the consistency, I knew I would get better, and I had that willpower. And in my mind, when I set a goal, when I sign up for something, I'm all in. So
yeah.
What seemed like the impossible thing when you were looking at it in January, from a sprint distance that you had just done a couple of them, and you were looking at the 70.3 and you were back there, and what was it like? That thing is impossible. How am I going to?
Yeah, honestly, I was like, oh wow, somebody's gonna. It's like I'm here and I need to get there. Like somebody's gonna have to help me or take me there. So, but I knew it was. I had a couple people, like couple friends, they're like, you're crazy, you should do the sprint, the Olympic, like try to ease in. And I'm like, nope, I'm doing
there.
I'm doing so
okay. All right.
That's awesome.
Let me see this one. Everyone, you guys are getting a lot from this one. Share, like which one can you relate to Sarrah? And what's your experience?
Tara says, that's right, sissy. You can do anything. You can put mine too.
Looks like you got fans there. They believe you.
That's my twin sister.
Yeah.
Awesome. What was it when we talked? What was it about Feisty Fox Coaching and us that made you decide to even work with us in the first place?
Honestly, I had seen one of your live trainings just like this, and I was so inspired by. You guys have so much energy, and I feel like we're like-minded, and just Coach Shangrila and Vanetta, just the energy, I just felt it, and I'm like, that's how I am. Like, you set high goals for yourself, and you're 300% above that. So I'm kind of like that, definitely. But I was really inspired by the athlete, and I think it was Leo. I can't remember. But I just couldn't believe, with how many surgeries he'd had, and
yeah, it was Leo.
And I just couldn't believe it. Me being a nurse, I know that, it takes time to heal, and you have to listen to your body. And, I was so inspired by him that I can't remember how many back surgeries he'd had, but several. And that, then this stuff he's doing, and that he just, he would just have that willpower, like, all of us. And, I don't know, that's kind of what inspired me. I'm like, if he can do it, I can do it. And I know I'm younger than him. It doesn't matter how old you are, honestly. You can do anything as long as you're.
Do you guys hear that?
You really can.
Age,
I mean,
right?
I was so amazed at my, I thought I would finish a lot. I thought I was going to be like a 7.5, 7:15, and I was 6:27:05. And I couldn't believe that. And I still had 50, 60-year-olds or more passing me. I mean, and I couldn't believe it. I'm still inspired by all of them, by everybody. I mean, and even in this group, just seeing everybody post like their day to day, like I have bad days. Like I had the month before, I was so down on myself because I thought I was doing terrible, and I felt like I was regressing. I wasn't progressing. And, and I just had like a one-on-one with you guys, like a conversation with you, Coach Claudia, with Coach Shangrila. And then I actually talked to another friend and everything. And, so I think just having those conversations with you guys, like we all have these struggles and we all have these times, it's normal. We're all human and it's normal. So, but you have to like look at it. And I could see the data like that you and Coach Claudia were providing me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why do I feel like I'm not doing well, that I stink today? And, and I don't know, I just fell off. And, but you guys were showing me and I was totally hitting it. And, with the big picture, I needed to look at the big picture that I was hitting those milestones. And, and I would get like my little medals, like, oh, you had a new PR for your run for your, and I don't know. And I'm just like, even my running and everything, cycling, running, swimming, like just my confidence. And that's what's amazing. I love. So,
well, I'm glad that you said that. And now that you mentioned it, I'm just going to jump into it.
Sure.
So, so like everyone, we're going to jump into the pre-race nerves. Okay. So if you guys have race coming up in about a month or 2 weeks, okay, so this is something that is kind of normal, but if you're new to it and it's like, so like for Sarrah, she did very well and she was amazed, right? Until now she's on the high. But a lot of athletes, you guys see the social media, but there's a lot behind the scenes that an athlete goes through. Okay, so I had permission from Sarrah to actually show this one, but this one is basically about 2 weeks prior her race. And she's sharing here. And she said, basically, not sure what's going on with me, but I have been extremely tired over the last several weeks since prior to the simulation. I'm pretty down, okay, and frustrated. And then a lot of like all this just kind of like domino effect negativity. I feel incredibly slow. It's almost like I'm regressing, if that makes sense. So it's like, how are you feeling on this one? Like race is coming up, but then all this ones, and I believe it was so busy at work as well, a lot of things going on. So like how are you, what was that, just like a lot of spiraling in your head? Is that
I definitely had a lot going on, with I'm in a leadership role at work, and it's just my boss and I, and we just had a lot going on there. My kids were extremely busy, they were in 2 different sports and, trying to juggle all their stuff and everything. But I think I had a lot going on at work. And then I just, I don't know, I felt like like I said, I set goals. And, when I have like, even, with my goals, my workouts for the day, you guys, set goals as well. And if I'm not meeting that was kind of like, to me, oh, I'm not progressing, I'm not meeting that goal. And I take that very seriously. And so I think that really affected me, even though, I was doing stuff all the time, morning, night, trying to balance everything. And I did. And, and I don't know, I felt much better when I kind of divided things up a little bit more, so, cause I didn't want to miss anything with my kids. And, I think work had a huge impact on it and stuff, but I just had to, it was just really busy and I just had to kind of juggle things a little differently and stuff, but I was able to.
Yeah. So what helped you on that one besides just, working things out? Communication from us help any at all?
Oh yeah, definitely talking. I had, that's what I love about your group too. And, constantly, I would tell you how I'd feel. I would get instant like responses from either Vanetta, Coach Claudia, a ton, and you, Coach Shangrila, and Brian even, or Errol and stuff. So, they would constantly be messaging, you're doing great. And, keep your head up. Or if if I felt something like just not right with my body, like not a pain, but just something was off, like, I would tell you what it is and you would pinpoint, and I would have like different body maintenance and stuff. So that really helped. Honestly, yoga really helped. Guided meditation. I did some guided meditation and, and then hot tub, massage, that kind of stuff.
Sauna too.
Yeah, sauna.
Your massage. So you guys are getting this one. If you guys are spiraling and so many things going on in your head, she just mentioned some suggestions that she was doing. Also, a mentor, a coach who can like help you calm down is of course family support.
And have you see the big picture, what's really going on?
Okay. All right. So let me show you. Oh, sorry. Were you going to add something, Sarrah?
No, because that's kind of, I was like really overthinking everything. You girls know
you were.
And I would question everything. And I guess that's what I do. And, but just really kind of setting me down and, seeing that big picture. And that really helped. And I just needed to trust in myself. Like I'm showing up every day, I'm putting in that time and I'm really trying my hardest and, really trusting. I don't know how many times you told me, just trust the workouts, trust the training, trust the program. And it truly does work. And I had to, even on my swims, even during my 70.3, I'm like saying things in my head, like what Coach Shangrila or Coach Claudia would tell me, reach, bend, pull, and, keep that down and, breathing on both sides. And that was one thing I couldn't do, successfully without you guys, and I had the worst kick ever. I mean, I had that stupid flutter kick. That was
I'm actually show that. You want some, going back to the past?
Oh, yeah.
So everyone,
if they want a good laugh, look at my kick.
There you go. I was actually wondering what's happening there, but let me share. So this is where Sarrah, she did well on that swim there. Actually 19th in her age group. Okay, there was thunderstorm days prior to it. They didn't wetsuit, no wetsuit. So there's a lot of things going on the swim, but she did very well. Okay. And then actually 6 days after that, look at her pace. So 153 is an Olympic triathlon. On the same day after she finished her first her sprint, her first race for that day, 145.
Impressive speed.
So this one is just within 7 days. So now let me show you, because right now you're seeing like how she is now. But before, let's go back to January, February. Okay. So like right here, and I'm going to show it to you right now. So this was how she was swimming back then. And I was looking at her, the way she was kicking here. Like, what's happening? I said, like, I've never seen that kind of kick, Sarrah.
It's very unique.
So that's how she was kicking. I'm like, okay, let me just redo that on the pool so I can relate of what really is happening. And that's what I did. But basically, so our outfits, what they do is that they share their video so we can take a look at it. And the feedback basically, so I look into it, give her one-on-one feedback. This was how she was. As you can see, there's a lot of, hey, this is where you're at. And then I do visuals. So it could be image, but definitely, adjust, like it's more about like what you need to do and not just like, this is wrong, this is wrong. It's like taking the athlete to do something, correct something, and then putting that visual. So it could be a visual or it could be a video like this. Okay.
You could still push more water back if you extend your forearm.
You remember this,
like
Sarrah?
Your forearm.
I remember that. It's kind of funny too, because, I was doing, I'd been swimming for like over probably about a year and a half, and I was swimming with poor technique or not just incorrect technique. So for that to correct that was a challenge, and, it takes time, but I was able to overcome that. So people that have been swimming probably way longer than me, there's definitely hope. I mean, I had tons of improvement. I probably still have, but I feel significantly better, and I'm definitely way better, and I can bilateral breathe.
I mean, we can see the paces, like you've improved big time. And how else did you feel beside the speed? How about like efficiency wise, or in terms of just feeling good?
I felt much more efficient. And I didn't feel, I felt great. I felt very confident. I felt myself really gliding across the water, and I could really feel the water pulling back, and I know on the 70.3, I swam with obviously men and women, and, they let a couple of us go at the same time. And I mean, there's people everywhere. But the next race, the 6 days later, I tell you, it was, I was nervous because, like the night before, they told me, I'm like, there's only 6 of you that are doing the Delta double, the sprint and the Olympic back to back. You have to swim with the men, and it's a mass start. I'm like, oh goodness gracious, okay. And so I was kind of nervous. I'm like, okay. And the women, we got up to the front there, and we just went for it. And I actually had my fastest swim that I've ever had. And I don't know, I just felt so confident. I don't know, I felt great. I love open water swimming. I actually more prefer it now than swimming in the pool. And, and before last year, I mean, one of my fears, I don't know, probably some people feel this way, but I wanted to overcome, one goal for me was to overcome swimming in water that I cannot see through. So, cause I had like a weird experience with a water snake with my sister and my brother.
Wow.
in a pond when we were little. And, so I hadn't been in water, like a lake or a pond or anything, only pools, like mostly sitting on rafts, and so, but, now like I can swim in a lake. I feel comfortable. I'm not scared of what I'm swimming with. I can see fish, I can see seaweed, I can see, all different things, but I'm not like afraid of it. So that was like a big thing for me. And then swimming in a larger body of water, these larger lakes, like one of the Finger Lakes, here in New York, and it's the coldest Finger Lake, but it ended up being very warm. So that's where kind of the night before, a couple days before, the water was almost 80 degrees, and they were telling us that it was, wetsuit or optional. And here I am. Okay, I've never swam in New York State in a water, like open water swim without a wetsuit. What do I do? And so that's when I was questioning you guys, and I went out, and here I was overthinking it. I'm like, I can swim this distance. I've been swimming in a pool. I can do it without a wetsuit. And, and I went out and tried it, and I was fine. I figured I'd be a little slower, but I knew that I could do it. And, I just was amazed at just the confidence I had, because you guys saw and lived it with me. We're checking in. Are you okay today? You're doing okay. And reassuring me. And, but I felt so confident, even the day before. Even my husband, my biggest supporter, I mean, he knows I was a nervous wreck, and I was confident. I was ready. I kept visualizing myself in the water, looking at the buoys, Friday and Saturday. And I don't know, I was ready. When the gentleman asked me when I was up there getting ready to get in the water, he's like, "Are you ready?" And I said, "I am." That's what I said.
Yeah. What are you thinking, right? Come on.
That's big from where you were in January to now. That's an amazing transformation in swimming. I love that. And then it sounds like that, having that feedback every time, and having it progressively improve over time was really helpful to you.
It was huge. It was huge for me. Absolutely. And
so, even though it's online, because unfortunately we haven't met in person, I would love virtual hugs
in person.
There you go. Okay. But so like, even though I can see the result, but how is that for you in terms of like us giving feedback, really doing our best to give you feedback, but how is that you, the receiver?
No, you know what, honestly, so that was one thing probably like a lot of people are a little skeptical of at first, but honestly, after my first, 15-minute call with you guys, I knew that, I'm going to try this, and, oh my gosh, it's amazing. You don't have to be in person at all. Like, it's amazing. Like the support that you guys have it all. You have a dietitian, you have your physical therapist who did like a gait.
Let me show that to you as well. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So like on your running and cycling. Okay. So like everyone, we mentioned about like her skills on cycling. So she want more. So we have actually Dr. Michelle. I love Dr. Michelle. She helped me out too. So Dr. Michelle, this is you back January. Okay. Looking into your gait.
Okay. I'm looking to see how her legs track. Are they tracking straight up and down? Are her knees?
So this one is when you're
on the
cycling,
outside of the line, which is.
And then when you're running as well, you also got feedback on that one. We saw that your hip was dropping.
Yep.
Okay. And so now let me see this one here. And then also, I also check again the video.
I see the hip dropping if I put a line on your midline.
So like where
exercises, it's not necessarily just do a lot of.
Were you aware about this ones, like after you hearing from Dr. Michelle, or like what you need to pay attention in terms of how to run with the proper technique? Were you already doing that in the past?
No, I had never had like any kind of gait analysis, and I thought I was just totally fine running because I never had any pain or anything. But seeing that difference and everything, what she was pointing out, it definitely makes a difference. And I couldn't believe it. I don't mean to point this out, but just seeing that picture, I cannot believe, like, I thought I was in decent shape. I mean, very active, but I cannot believe how much weight. And
yeah. Aw. So that was back January. Funny. You already forgot. Yeah, you did that video.
Yeah.
So yeah,
or like what you have been doing with weight training.
Yeah, that was
I used to do that
you
myself.
Great. You look strong. Okay.
Yeah.
Lost 15 pounds. Congrats. You could have done that too. Yeah, that was you. All right. And you also you were getting faster on your running also. So actually you just did another PR recently that was after immediately after you came back from your medical, like
Oh, yeah.
challenge.
This
So
was,
this was 152.
yeah, that was my PR for my half marathon. And honestly, so that was, I came back after my surgery. I think that I came back May 1st. That was May 7th. So yeah, that was, I didn't want to, I had to miss a race, just a training race and stuff in the middle of my recovery and stuff from surgery. And that was literally 7 days later. And I can't believe it that I had, I think that just having surgery, that was one thing, I think after I signed up with you guys, I had some unfortunate findings, and ended up having to have surgery. I had to take like almost about 6 weeks off, 7 weeks, something like that. And, and I was devastated. And, and I still, even throughout that time off, I had surgery and, and I told the surgeon, I'm like, I still want to do my 70.3. And he's like, you will. He's like, talk to your coaches. And, I still kept walking, like, as soon as I could, I think I took 3 days and, just from anesthesia and stuff like that. And, I was walking, I think my first walk, I did 3 miles in the morning, 3 miles in the afternoon. Like I had to keep busy. I'm like, I'm not one to sit, but, I just kept pushing myself and, but I was worried that I wouldn't come back stronger. And you and Coach Claudia, you guys, all three of you, Vanetta too, you guys told me that I, just you're okay. Maybe you're going to come back so much stronger. And you guys were 100% right. And I couldn't believe it when I first came back with my swim, I felt great. My run, I mean, look at that race. I had a PR.
Yeah, so that one was right after your surgery. So for everyone, just to give you a concept. So when we talked to Sarrah in January, we said like, okay, Sarrah, we have about 5.5 months to train for it. But then suddenly happened, which is the findings from the doctors needing surgery. Yeah. So that became 4.5 months of training only. So let's go back there. When you heard, because I know some athletes may be experiencing something like this or similar, hopefully not as bad. Okay. When you heard about the doctor, from the doctor, like, okay, something's going on. And you were pretty worried. Tell us more about that. How did you feel hearing that and knowing that you do have a race? I think it's at about 10.5 weeks left. You only have 10 weeks left. Yeah. And then you heard that news, like what was going on in your mind?
Oh, I cried. I mean, I was devastated. And, first of all, I couldn't believe that here I am, a healthy individual. I try to eat healthy. I try to, exercise. And then I have this finding and, and trying to figure out if it's cancerous or not. And, I don't know. It was just, and then him telling me, I don't know what was worse, like knowing if I was going to be okay and stuff or not being able to, he told me I couldn't swim and, he's like, and you cannot run. He's like, you can bike, you can cycle when you feel, better. And I had to see him the first week and everything, but I mean, that was devastating. I just, I was like praying and, and hoping like I was going to try to give it at all. And my husband just kept reassuring me as well. He's like, you'll be fine. He's like, you've got this. He's like, you're very strong and you're determined, and I am. And, I just kept trying to each day, and the walking, I think helped a lot. I was walking with friends, and doing like guided meditation and stuff like that. I mean, I was trying to do anything to keep my mind, so that stuff is really important. Even just a walk or something. I mean, really helped me a lot. Just talking with you guys and, you checking in, days later, actually, I think it was like the next day. You're like, how are you? How are you doing? And I mean, it was just amazing. Like you guys are so compassionate and, you're not just a number, like you really care about each and every one of us. And, if somebody's hurting, that's like, we have to alert you. And, you guys come up with for us to do. Like, I mean, I remember when I first started with the cycling with the shoes and I was, numbness. I had an issue with my foot and, you had me, doing different things with my, stretches and different things with my feet, exercises and stuff. And then we figured out the shoes together. And I mean, I don't know where I would have gotten. I don't think I would have figured that out on my own, but your guidance and everything, I don't know, it works. Like everything, it's just amazing. And you guys have it all. Like I, didn't get to, I'm sorry, I was kind of all over, but with the dietitian, I mean, and Dr. Meany, and Mary, with the yoga. I mean, they're amazing. And then Coach Cruz and Coach Claudia, just doing all the different coaches, Coach Jeff. I mean, everybody, doing like their strength training classes and stuff. Like, these are athletes like me, and I don't know, it's just so nice to have like this whole team in this community. We're like a family. And, I haven't met any of them. I hope to meet some of you all.
Everyone's online too.
Oh my gosh, I love Becca and oh my gosh, all of them, like John.
Yeah.
And it's just nice to see everybody's, where they are. And, and that we all, like I said before, are starting in the same spot, and, we're progressing, and it's because of you. And, and Seiko, oh my gosh, like, look at her the other day. She looked amazing. I mean, everybody, Elaine, everybody being so proud of like our progress, and we do have, days that are a little different, a little more challenging, and, but that's normal, but just sticking to it, and, that consistency and trusting you guys.
Yeah. Well, I think you have done a great job in actually really taking advantage, like whenever we have master class with our sports psychologist, Dr. Meany, or registered dietitian, you attend. Like, it's always great. Or like if you go, and even after the people like who actually is in the East Coast, they go through replays as well. I think you are doing a great job, and actually with your nutrition, with your nutrition, and everyone, if you guys are working on your nutrition, let me show you what she does, and maybe this is something that you may want to incorporate, because Sarrah is just like, she's on point. We ask her to do something, she will do it, and she does it like over exceed. All right. So like, you'll see here, so we do have this one wherein everyone, we ask our athletes to give feedback, because we want to understand what they're going through, so that coaches know how we can help. So now what the athlete does is that Sarrah gives feedback here. As you can see, hey, everyone, I got a PR. This is my 152, took 4th place in my age group. So there's a lot of things that she said here, but she doesn't forget about like, okay, coach, I did this one. I test this one worked. These are my nutrition. This is the timing, so like everyone, like if you're doing your nutrition, like, know what to eat or drink, how much, okay, and the timing. And she's doing the homework. She does what I ask her to do. And she does that almost every time. I mean, we don't really ask, I do, but she does it like to the point. So like, for example, let me show it to you again here. So here, it's not, she does say about, like any symptoms, like she said, no GI upset today. Here's my breakfast. There's amount here. So she is consistently doing what we ask her to do, and giving this, like, there's the weight loss, calories, carbs. So let me ask you, Sarrah, were you doing this one before? I know you did a half marathon and full marathon before in a sprint. Did you get into like a lot of details like this before?
No, not at all. No, I mean, I would honestly, I remember my marathon, I think I tried to stay ahead on my hydration and everything, but I mean, not at all with the nutrition at all. I mean, I thought I would, some gummies here or there or whatever, but no. And actually you guys helped me, because I ended up having to test a bunch of things, but a couple of things out, because I was getting GI upset, and you guys worked with me on that. And, but no, not to this detail, but it works. I've got it down, and because I feel great. And have energy throughout the entire, when I did that 70.3, I felt great, honestly. I mean, it was pouring and stuff on the run, and it actually felt good. But I mean, as far as energy and stuff, I mean, my family, they were like, wow, you look great. Even my coworker, Brittany, she's like, I can't believe it. You look amazing after all these races. Like, you just look so like energetic. I'd be sitting over here or laying down or
yeah.
So, but yeah, and I didn't stop. Like, I know there's, people that do have to stop, like, to walk or something. I mean, I did have to take some bathroom breaks and stuff like that, but, and I stopped to help a couple people and everything. So, just cause that's me, I can't not, if I see somebody, I have to, yeah. So, but,
what I heard you say about the nutrition, that was different from what you were doing before, kind of trying out different things and not really knowing what it is. So what I heard was different was that you said no GI issues.
Yep.
You had the energy for the race.
Mm-hmm.
And then you felt really awesome the
Amazing.
day after.
I didn't have the bloating or anything. I felt great, and it was with your guys' guidance. I mean, and then watching, you know, some of the dietitian and everything, he had some great recommendations, and I still, you know, I had actually some questions for him, you know, and I can reach out to him anytime, and you have a consultation with him and everything too. So I mean, I'm just great. You guys literally cover everything.
Yeah. Well, so like on this ones, I'm gonna just show to everyone here. So she does this, you know, share this one, but it doesn't end to like, because yes, you can take notes and everything, but you would want a mentor, a coach to actually give you feedback, because you know, like we're doing our best to dial in. So here you go. What you can see here is, yeah, there's a lot of questions. So like, Sarah, how many bottles did you have with you? You mentioned 3 scoops of scratch. How was the proportion on each bottle? Really detail. How about, how's your weight? Were you comfortable eating your sandwich, grabbing your gel while riding the bike? And then next is Coach Claudia asking more stuff. Okay. So if you're the type, you know, like you just do your workout or like take notes. If you take notes, but you don't do anything with it, or like get feedback from coaches, like, or a good friend who knows a lot about nutrition, then it's gonna go to waste. Like my recommendation is follow what Sarrah had done, wherein she does it almost every single time, especially on longer ones. And then her trying to understand also, it's not just about like me telling her. She does ask a lot of questions as well. I ask her, she asked me back. And then more questions come up. And it looks like that's how you were able to dial in your nutrition, Sarrah.
Absolutely. I don't think I would have had the stamina, you know, the energy, you know, because when I did my full marathon and everything, I still remember at mile, I think it was like mile 20, or maybe it was less than that, that I almost hit that wall. And, you know, I think the mental, like, I pushed me through, but I mean, I was cramping up. I've never had any cramps or anything, like, you know, running the distances, like 18 miles, like I didn't have any problems like with cramping and stuff. And I think I would have, but I mean, I'm dialing in on that nutrition with the hydration and everything. So, you know, prior to the run, you know, hydration during, and even after, I mean, that's even important too. And then just the body maintenance as well. So.
And yeah, and I wanted to just commend Sarrah for being able to balance your time with your family. Yes, she loves the sport. She loves to be active. She's at the top of her company, you know, doing her leadership role, but she doesn't forget about her family. Yeah, this one is just like a couple weeks before her race. She's raising her kids. She takes them for a 5K and they're pretty fast and having fun. Or let me show you.
And I heard that she was still attending all of their sports games. The lacrosse, was it, and baseball?
Oh yeah. They were in lacrosse and baseball at the same time, so both of them were. And you know, and no, and my husband and I sometimes, like, there was only a couple times we had to divide and conquer, but for the most part, the 4 of us were together. And I mean, my husband Neil is like my support. I mean, I could not do any of this without him. And you know, my kids, and honestly, going to any finish line, if it's a 5K or anything, just seeing them, you know, him taking pictures of me, to the boys shaking their cowbells and just cheering for their mommy and go mommy. And, you know, it's awesome. But I, you know, I don't know. I had to really, you know, when I signed up for this and signed on with you guys, you know, I knew that it was a commitment, and, you know, as far as all the workouts and everything. And, you know, I would be, you know, whether it's early in the morning or after they went to bed, I mean, I would be riding my bike. I'd be doing something, swimming. I'm at the pool early in the morning, swimming before work. You know, wherever I could, just because, you know, I tried to do some stuff more in the morning too, because, you know, I would have more time with my kids in the evening, and I knew that they had their sporting events, or I'd have my Zumba class that I'd be teaching every Thursday, you know, so I just really had to, you know, balance everything. But Neil has been a huge, I mean, he's awesome. I can't even say enough, but
go Neil.
Well, you know what, else? So there were several times that I would take them to Zumba with me, you know, and they've done that with me for years. Or there was like Saturdays or evenings that the 4 of us would go to the pool, and the boys would be swimming and Neil would be swimming, and here I am doing my lap swimming and doing certain things. So, you know, you try to keep them involved. And it was funny when I would get home from work after we had dinner, my boys would be coming over with their weights and say, Mommy, what workout are you doing tonight? So inspires them to, you know,
Oh,
see what a healthy lifestyle is. And even my son, I think I shared with you guys, Camden, you know, my 8-year-old, he was begging us for like weeks. I think maybe it was like a week or week and a half. He wanted to do a triathlon. So we
Right.
had swim in the pool. He said, Mommy, I'm going to do 15 laps in the pool.
you're gonna bike.
This one, I'm
And
gonna show you.
And then
How many laps are you gonna
yeah.
run? Awesome. All right. You want me to say
Sorry. So this is you can go ahead and tell the story. So this one is the son doing triathlon.
Yep, he's doing his little triathlon, and he just swam the you know, the width of our pool, which is a in-ground pool, and you know, he was trying. He was so cute. And here he is getting out of the water. Look at him taking
Doing triathlon. There you go. And doing the transition, the bike, and then I see Daddy Neil here taking
Our
care
dog.
of the transition and the dog joining. Look at you. Everyone's just like doing their laps.
Oh yeah, here.
At their laps.
But yeah, it was the cutest thing, and he had some pretty quick transitions there, faster than his mom.
He was really into it.
He really was.
The next one.
So it's really nice that they, I don't know, anywhere you can involve them. I know Becca, she involves her son and everything. And there's a lot of them, a lot of the athletes that do. And, you know, so that way they're part of it too. You know, it's not just about, you know, us, the athlete, and, you know, just keeping everything together and real. And I don't know, it's fun. It's really fun. And then, you know, these races and everything, you know, we try to, you know, if some of them are at a distance, like we'll stay overnight, and, you know, so then they get to use the pool at the hotel, and it's like a fun thing. And I don't know, it's great. It really is.
A lot more adventure, exciting,
Yes.
exciting family
Love it.
time.
Awesome. Well, I have a question for you. If you had to choose 3 things that you think made the biggest difference for you working together with Coach Claudia, Coach Shangrila, and the rest of the Feisty Fox team, what do you think those would be?
Definitely the scheduled, the structured workouts. That is huge, you know, that is huge with me. And then the community, I think, you know, just having that one-on-one, like I can message you guys anytime of night, anytime of day. I don't know. I don't think Coach Shangrila sleeps at all, because she's out,
I do
you know, like in the morning, you know, getting back to me. I'm like, oh my gosh. And same with Clyde too. And, you know, so that is great, because you guys would, I mean, get back to me almost instantly, like literally. And so that is huge for me, you know, because otherwise I tend to be like, oh, we'll get a little anxious or something. Or I'm like, I wonder if I need to do something different. But that was huge. And just having all of, you know, you're like one package, like you've got everything literally. So if you need help with nutrition, which, you know, I'm a nurse, but, you know, and I know a lot of things about nutrition, but I still needed help. And, you know, and then, you know, I know stretching is important, but there's more to, you know, body maintenance and stuff than stretching. And I didn't realize that. And that's where the key was, like, especially within the races and stuff. I mean, foam rolling, I mean, I was doing, you know, even I mean, chiropractic if I needed to. I mean, just listening to my body and, you know, talking with you guys, and you guys making those recommendations is really, you know, that body maintenance is huge between the, you know, just for fast recovery. And then third, is the community. I honestly, like, I love seeing everybody. I cannot believe the progress, like I wish I could go to all the races. Like Jeremy is doing amazing too. Like, I cannot believe the progress that everybody is making. And, you know, and just the coaches, like you guys are truly, I don't know, like, I feel like you're family and like friends, like, you know, and I haven't known you a very long time, but you guys are so compassionate and you truly care. And I think truly, like, what we're doing, even if it's, something small, like a 10K, a 5K, a sprint or something like that, like it's a big deal to us, but I truly think it inspires you too, to, you know, like, what was that running that you did in February that you and Gina did, what was it? The 200 and I can't remember. Yeah, no, it was like 250 miles.
Oh yeah. It's the Badwater virtual.
So you guys did that, and I think she inspired you, because she was getting up every morning at like 3 o'clock
a.m. She was
running the park to get miles in for the month. So you know that all of our, you know, our winnings, like our, you know, and even that little day to day, I don't know, just like me, just like a little win. Like, I just have to remember, like, you guys made me realize that, which I could never have done without you guys pointing it out. But like, even just these small little things, these are wins, and, you know, where you are to get to your goals and everything. I've just had a great experience in I know I was skeptical at first with online, but I mean, it really does. It's amazing. So, and I cannot believe the results that I've had, even with having to take that time off and everything. I mean, you
Yeah,
guys,
even after the surgery.
yeah, and I
Well,
feel great. I want to do more.
You do.
Unstoppable at this point.
Well, you're a machine now, because I mean, you're doing
Back to
doing what
back.
I do. Wherein, I can race back to back and not get hurt and recover fast.
And
you
now you know why.
have.
Yeah, now you
We've
know how
shown
that
you
works.
why and how.
And I
And it's
remember
fun.
it
It's
is fun. And honestly, doing my 70.3, I was so, I've never smiled so much in a race or anything. And I was cheering. There was a DJ like out there telling us, you are Ironman, you've done all your, training. And I mean, I was singing, cheering for people like every time they went by. And I don't know, it's amazing. I don't know. And what you can do, like you really, if you truly believe and push yourself and are just determined and give it all, or what you can give, like, and there might be some days that you can only do a certain amount and some days you can do more, but you can do it. So.
Well, Sarrah from Feisty Fox Coaching, we are very proud of you. You've transformed. Oh my God. You just bought your bike, your road bike, just October, just learning how to clip on clip. And then learning, like swimming and cycling, juggling your schedule. You're amazing. And for everyone, for everyone who have watched Sarrah's story, are you inspired? I mean, we talked about like how she was back then and how she is now. Her confidence is up and she wants to do more, and she's healthy and she's still balancing her work, her family, and wants to do more. Okay.
And I'm still going to mark some things off my bucket list. I have one in October.
There you go. Yes, you do.
Chicago. Yeah.
Well, everyone who have been inspired, okay, this is what we do in Feisty Fox Coaching. We help busy, high achiever crush their races no matter what, their level of experience, no matter what, okay? And as long as you want your goal, okay, you want it 100%, you're ready to take action. And of course, you don't want to waste your time. You want to do it the right way so you don't get hurt, okay? Well, we love partnering with athletes who are excited to go after those big goals. It might be like something like you're scared. You don't even know if you're able to do it, or if you're overthinking, okay? Well, for those athletes, we are giving you an opportunity to chat with us face to face, just like what Sarrah had, with us. And if you are those who are tired of being average, okay, and doesn't want to waste your time, this one will be helpful, okay?
Yes, we're making our calendar available for a 15-minute chat with you. If you want to save your spot, put #GamePlan in the comments now, and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, well, there's nothing that you can buy there because it's a call, it's a free call. So just put #GamePlan if you want for us to talk about your goal, and then see what's the next big steps. All right. Well, let's go back to Sarrah. Sarrah, before we let you go, we did talk a lot about your wins and how you got them. Now, we want to ask you, what are the top 3 advices that you would give an athlete who is still possibly experiencing almost the same way that you were experiencing back then in January, or maybe last year, or someone who has a bucket list of 70.3, or who's had some medical issue in the past? What would you advise to the old Sarrah back then? Top 3 advices.
Honestly, just sign up and really, believe in yourself that you can do it. Because I had so many doubts, and I did not have the confidence that I do today. I mean, I cannot believe the confidence, honestly. And even I think it's even with this, it's kind of actually gone into my work, my occupation, like that too, because I even feel more confident at work and stuff. But definitely sign up, really, know that you can do anything, honestly, as long as you believe and you are determined, you have the willpower, you can do anything. And then be kind to yourself and know that the workouts, and as long as you're showing up in the consistency, that you will improve. And even if it's little little steps, like the day-to-day things. You need to kind of step back and look at the big picture, because that's what even, I was struggling even a month before my race. Like I just had it in my head that I was kind of definitely overthinking that, it's all right here. You can see it. You just have to kind of look at the big picture of everything. And you guys clearly, you're doing this so much better. You're doing this. And so, just really kind of honing down on that. And then the third thing, don't forget your family and your loved ones, and and they can, obviously they're there with you. So kind of lean on them, for support, and and you guys as well, with whether it's coaching, just really kind of leaning on people that are positive, that are kind of like-minded, because I definitely had some negativity over the last the last year with I thought I kind of realized that it was negative, competition and stuff like that. And I set that aside and everything, and just, looking for like-minded people, that are positive. You feed off of each other. You encourage each other. You're you're each other's support. And that's what I love about this group. So, but you can find that at home with your friends, a group, a club, anything, so I don't know. I think it's really important. So
that's a lot of nuggets. You guys get those, everyone? You guys got a lot from today.
I hope they did. Everybody, we're all the same. We all start the same. We all have different goals, but just believe in yourself. That's, if I can say anything, you can do it. Truly anything. I know I've said it probably 6 times in this presentation, but you're in yourself. And and I wish I would have started this. I'm 41, and I wish I would have started this 10, 20 years ago. And in every race that I've been to, I meet other athletes and they inspire me. I don't care if they're, there's kids in a race. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Or, older, there's a 76-year-old that I know that swims, that is going to, she qualified for nationals, and she's a friend of mine, and she's going in a couple of weeks. And, she gave me, actually for my last race, she gave me a kit from Hammer Nutrition, and she's like, this is for you. It's brand new. This is for you. But just, I don't know, surround yourself by that positive energy. And it's really important, and you can really soar. And honestly, the sky's the limits.
There you go. Sky's the limit, everyone. So everyone, if you got a lot from today, put #value. Let's thank Sarrah. Thanks a lot, Sarrah. Thanks a lot for your family supporting you as well. So everyone, till next time, it's been a pleasure. We do this weekly live training. We're going to have another one next week. All right. Have a great week, everyone. Bye, Sarrah. Have a good one.
Thank you, guys. Have a great evening, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.